Hey, what's going on everybody? You're watching Too Long Didn't Read Filmmaker, where the answers comes first, the reasons come last, but we're constantly and always still learning. So today we're going to find out whether or not the new RODE Videomic GO II is going to be the right solution for you and your overall audio kit. And I want to thank RODE for sending this out to me so I can provide you with my review today. So without further ado, let's throw up that TLDR timer right up here and let's get started. This thing costs $99. You don't actually need any batteries. It just plugs straight into your camera. In fact, that's how you're listening to it right this moment. Essentially, it's like a miniaturized version or a stripped down version of the RODE Videomic NTG, and it sounds pretty good. And without further ado, let's get to the sound quality tests. Again, this is going to be done in my makeshift soundproof box so that I can give you the cleanest audio possible. What's going on everybody? You're watching Too Long Didn't Read Filmmaker, where the answers comes first, the reasons come last, but we're constantly and always still learning. What's going on everybody? You're watching Too Long Didn't Read Filmmaker, where the answers comes first, the reasons come last, but we're constantly and always still learning. Next up, let's see how well it handles if you scream into it.
You done messed up, Aaron! You done messed up, Aaron! You done messed up, Aaron! You done messed up, Aaron!
When it comes to the radio interference, it does quite well. I plugged it into the RODE Wireless GO II to see if I can hear anything. Now this is a shotgun microphone, so let's see how well it does with rejecting sounds coming from the sides. Last but not least, let's take a look at how my voice changes tonally if I go off to the sides. So basically, if you are a boom operator and you're trying to go between two different people, this is if you are getting it right down the center. And now I'm going to keep talking as I move over to about 45 degrees to the capsule. And then this is how my voice changes as I come back. Last but not least, you can plug the Videomic GO II into your computer with a USB port and it'll show up as a USB microphone that you can use for voiceovers, ADR sessions, even Zoom calls. You're listening to what it sounds like right now going into my computer. The output port can be used as a headphone port when you are plugged into a computer. There are also a host of features you can access while recording into a computer using the Rode Central app. You can actually add a pad if you're recording loud sounds. You can adjust the video mic's input level. There's also a high-pass filter at 75 Hz or 150 Hz, a high-frequency boost option, and you can also adjust the live monitoring volume for the headphone port. You'll want to turn this off if you plan to just use this mic as a Zoom mic, as hearing the sounds around you in the room can be distracting when you're on a Zoom call. Now, all these features, surprisingly, can be accessed through your smartphone device as well if you plan to record audio that way. You'll just want to make sure you have the appropriate cables depending on if you have an iOS or an Android device. And yes, if your phone does not have a headphone port, you can actually use that output port and use it as a headphone jack to listen to music and such. While all these features are awesome, no, the Videomic GO II does not save these settings internally. So stuff like the pad feature, the high pass filter, the high frequency boost setting will not translate when you then plug into a camera later. And hey guys, that is the end of the TLDR section and what you need to know about the RODE Videomic GO II. If you want to hear more about how it compares against the RODE Videomic NTG, its older brother, and as well as who I actually recommend this video mic for, well, stay tuned. Hey, welcome back guys. Thank you so much for sticking around, so let's continue on. You've already heard all the important tests in the beginning of the video, but now let's actually talk about how does the RODE Videomic GO II compare against its older brother, the RODE Videomic NTG. So in fact, let's switch it around here. You're currently listening to the RODE Videomic GO II. Hello, hello, hello. This is TLDR Filmmaker. All right, and now you're listening to the RODE Videomic NTG at the same distance. Hello, hello, hello. This is TLDR Filmmaker. All right, let's go back to the RODE Videomic GO II. So here are the major differences you need to understand, and I'll also kind of guide you in terms of which one's going to make more sense for you in terms of what kind of filmmaker you are. So the first thing is the price. The RODE Videomic GO II comes in at $99, and then the RODE Videomic NTG comes in anywhere from $240 to $250, depending on where you buy it. Now, The RODE Videomic NTG has a whole lot of features built into the mic directly itself. It's got a negative 20 dB pad setting for when you're in a very loud environment. It also has a safety channel, so one channel is going to be recording at the normal level, and then the other channel is going to record a little bit lower, so that if someone suddenly screams, you'll actually have a safety channel to work with when it's going into your camera. It also has a high-pass filter. It also has a built-in battery, and because of that, it's actually able to produce a lot more output versus the RODE Videomic GO II. And the main reason why this is useful is for someone who is going to be recording into a field recorder like my Tascam DR40, because the difference between the preamp setting of the RODE Videomic NTG and the GO II, the GO II had to be at a preamp of 48, which is quite high for the Tascam DR40, versus the RODE Videomic NTG, when I have it going pretty full blast, I'm able to turn that preamp all the way down between 0 to 5. So that's a big difference. Now, some of the features like the pad setting as well as the high pass filter that's built into the RODE Videomic NTG, technically speaking, you can get some of those features from the RODE Videomic GO II, but you're going to be limited to recording off of RODE's laptop software or RODE's smartphone software. So again, if you're thinking about going straight into your camera, you're not going to be able to access those features necessarily. You're going to have to use the applications themselves. So the last question is, who is this microphone for? Is it for a YouTuber, vlogger, narrative filmmaker? Let's break these down one by one. So let's actually start off with YouTuber, because this is a YouTube setting. And as you can tell, based on how this is set up, it's about 16 inches away, just out of frame, pointing right at my chest, going straight into my Sony a7S III. It sounds quite good. There's really not much I can complain about. And if you kind of actually go out and about, or maybe you want to use a RODE Wireless GO II, where maybe you're laved up wirelessly and then you want someone to wirelessly boom, you can do that. That's going to be fine because it's going straight into your camera. So when it comes to a YouTuber, you're just fine. Next up is narrative filmmakers. When it comes to narrative filmmakers on a budget, I would say yes, this is definitely a thing you should consider, because I have some friends where they literally had a RODE Video Micro and had that plugged straight into the camera, had some guy booming near the camera, and while the sound wasn't necessarily the best because it wasn't a very sensitive microphone, this one is a quite sensitive microphone. So this is definitely going to help you in terms of getting that sound going straight into your camera on a budget. And if you happen to have something like a RODE Wireless GO II because you invested in that first, well, if you want to have a wireless boom, you can do that. You can have one wireless go going onto someone's shirt, lavalier them up, you're good to go. Have a wireless boom, go straight into your camera. Right channel is the boom, left channel is the lav, and you're good to go. So when it comes to a budget narrative filmmaker, it does make sense. However, if you are on the higher end and you do have something like a Tascam DR40 recorder or something like that, at that point, you're probably looking beyond this microphone, let's be honest. So you're probably going to look up to the RODE Videomic NTG, or perhaps the major one, the RODE NTG 5. That's your progression here. So I would say, as a narrative filmmaker that's on a budget trying to squeeze as much quality out of the dollars they spend, the RODE Videomic GO II does make sense. Last but not least, I'm not really a vlogger here, and this microphone is not at vlogging distance. So let me actually move this here real quick and try to simulate arm's distance. I'm actually going to move it into frame here. So if I was holding a camera full distance away, this is about where the mic would be if it's literally just pointing at me as I'm talking. So this is your test in terms of how well does it do in picking up my voice from a vlogging distance. And hey guys, that is it for this video. I hope this has been helpful. If this video has made all the influence in your purchasing decisions, I truly would appreciate it if you check out my affiliate links down in the description or the pinned comments below. Again, this costs nothing extra to you. It just gives me a little compensation should you decide to go through and purchase with those links. And of course, as always, if you have any questions or comments, please leave it down below. I will get to them as fast as I can. And until then, like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you guys in the next one.